What up, everybody? Conservative nerd here. Yeah, today I want to talk about storytelling. Storytelling, because I feel like that's something that's really lacking in Marvel right now is good imaginative storytelling. See, because to me, like, here's the thing with comics, why I really liked them as a kid and why I still enjoy comics, that they're good. And one of the things I always liked about comics is it's there's no budget. Okay, if you go see a movie, if you see a low budget movie, you can tell it's a low budget, and sometimes you're like, wow, they did pretty good for their budget. But for the most part, movies are hampered by your budget. If you have a huge budget movie, you can do more. Comics don't have that. The only hampering to your budget is your imagination. That's it. Like how I did that, like, yeah, imagination. Yeah, see? You're stupid. Alright, so yeah, that's your only limit here is your imagination. There's no budget. There's no, your artist, like you might be limited to your artist skills, but for the most part, you have unlimited, budget. You can do anything in a comic because it's just, there's no, you don't have to pay to blow up a truck or drive a truck to a building. You can just draw it. So yeah, there's a lack of that. I mean, this book's packed with action and excitement and new ideas and concepts. They're not. I mean, how many times have you picked up a book from Marvel and it's like two people eating dinner? Even DC does that a lot, where it's like, dude, there should be a big action scene. It's like they do it off panel or something. You're like, what? So yeah. Now, if you're wondering why there was a Rick Jones in the title, a buddy of mine, DMI on Twitter, he tweeted out that Rick, he had this idea that Rick Jones comes back from Damnation after the events of Damnation with Doctor Strange. I don't know if you've been reading that, but Las Vegas comes back from hell and Mephisto's in charge, and so they take him down and all that. But so after all that, Rick Jones was brought back because Cap killed him at the end of the Secret Empire, or somewhere in Secret Empire, he assassinated Rick Jones. So Rick Jones comes back to life, but he's pissed, right? Because all these superheroes, like, all they've done is ruin his life. He's finally dead and at peace, and they bring him back, and they don't let him rest, and he's sick of it. And, that idea just intrigued me, It just made me, like, want to see this idea come into fruition, And here's the thing with a good story idea. If you hear it or come up with it or whatever, it should be clawing at your skull to get out, like, this has to be told, this needs to be written down, like, this has to get out. I don't feel that from anybody writing at Marvel right now. I don't get that they care that much that they have to write this stuff out, because just this one little tweet about something, like, it was like boom, boom, boom. I'm just like, this story is just popping in my head. Like, okay, well, Rick Jones knows all their secret identities. I mean, he knows, like, their secret hideouts. He is the guy that pretty much brought the Avengers together. Have him just pissed about all this stuff. Have him, maybe he's injecting homeless people with Hulk blood and, causing, craziness downtown. And while people are dealing with that, he's, like, taking out, people in their homes with bombs and shit, Like, so, you could do so much with this. He's got the codes to Wakanda, dude. They couldn't even hide under their bubble. He knows the villains. He can get them organized and tell them, like, hey, I'm Rick Jones, man. Like, yeah, I mean, you could do so much with this. And just one little idea like that can spark your imagination, and that's what's cool about storytelling. But I think that the people that write at Marvel would rather be writing Netflix series. I think 90% of the people that are at Marvel right now just are keeping it low-key so they can get a Crackle show or a Netflix. You can tell I watched DNC's last video about Hunt for Wolverine. Yeah, and I have the same problems, because I've been saying this for a long time. Anybody who watches my channel knows that I really get the feeling that a lot of these writers are writing this stuff for Netflix shows or for, TV shows are just to get on TV, so they keep it low budget. So it doesn't look like, oh, well, they could write a TV show. Yeah, so they keep it low budget. That's why it's so low. That's why everything feels low budget and shitty, because they all want to write for a Netflix show. They don't want to be in comics. They want to write movies or TV. They hate comics. This is just a stepping stone for these people. And that's why that's the problem, because they don't really care about what they're doing. And it shows. It really fucking shows in their work. And DC is a lot better at this than they are. As Marvel is probably the worst. Image isn't good either. I think a lot of people that write Image books just think they're gonna get movie deals, so they're just trying to write movies and stuff. But yeah, nobody has an imagination though. I mean, nobody cares about sparking somebody's imagination. It's just like, oh, I want to get a movie deal, or I want to get a TV deal. And that's what I feel from these people, that they don't get excited for stories or stuff like that. Because you don't see a lot of writers out there on Twitter tweeting exciting stories like that, I see it from other people, other friends on Twitter and stuff, but yeah, I don't see it from them. And yeah, it hurts the industry, because you can tell. I mean, that's why they're mad at us, because a lot of people on the Twitter, the Comicsgate people, you can tell like they don't care. They don't like the characters. They don't like the stories. You can tell. I mean, it's not hard. You don't see Kelly Thompson coming in and popping up, ideas for stuff. Just look at her West Coast Avengers, all right? There's no history in this. There's nothing. There's no West Coast Avengers history. She brought in Hawkeye, but he's not even the leader. Kate Bishop's Hawkeye is the leader, with her boyfriend, and who looks like a sadomasochist. Yeah, I can't even say it. But yeah, he looks like some bondage dude. And America and Gwenpool. This isn't the West Coast Avengers. Here's how they should have done West Coast Avengers. Hawkeye doesn't like that Hank Pym and Ultron are fused together, and decides to put a team together to save Hank Pym. He could put a team together that could go in there and save Hank Pym. That would be interesting and cool, and would have some kind of, you could bring in stuff from the old Avenger, for the old West Coast, like Hank Pym had a lot to do with the old West Coast Avengers, so there we go, Hawkeye's friends with him, maybe, he's not going to let his friend go down without a fight. Nobody's done nothing about it yet, so Hawkeye's like, being Hawkeye, because this is in his character, to give a shit about his friends, is like, hey, I'm going to round up a team, and we're going to go out there, and we're going to save this guy. Not. I'm just going to kiss Kate Bishop's ass all day. Like, that's not Hawkeye. What the hell, man? This isn't Hawkeye. So, yeah, that's how I would do it, is Hawkeye has to... And then you do it like the first West Coast Avengers cover, where it's Hawkeye and then a bunch of question marks around a bunch of different, images that you can't tell who it is, and, like, who's going to be the next... Who's going to be his team. And then, you build that first issue up of him getting a team together to go save Hank. It makes way more sense than a reality show with a bunch of goons. I mean, I'm sorry, but the Goon Bob reality show thing is just, it's almost like you hate comics, man. You just don't take them seriously or care. And, therein lies the problem. I mean, you can put humor in it without, like, pissing on everything. Yeah, this book looks terrible. Terrible. Can't even talk today. Yeah, but, nah. I just want to talk, because it feels like imagination's dead. It feels really bad in comics right now, and why do you think Jawbreaker sold so well, Because it has imagination. Like, you look at that book and it pops, That's the problem with comics today, is they don't pop at me. I look at them and just go, dinner, they're shopping now, they're laying around talking about the science, there's a slumber party. Yeah. He's like, where's this anything good? Yeah, I don't know. But there definitely is some problems with the industry, and definitely storytelling is probably the biggest right now, because that's the problem with Marvel right now, is well, the art's terrible, but a lot of it's storytelling, man. Nobody wants to tell huge, imaginative, crazy stories with fresh ideas on every page. There's an artist, or a writer, Alejandro Jodorowsky. I think he's from Brazil, and he wrote a lot of comics. They're weird, and they're not for everybody. They're brutal, but they're amazing. Like, every page is a new idea, a new concept, a new, thing, and it sparks creativity in you. But, like, these are like 20-year-old books, and they're amazing. If you haven't read Meta Barons, I highly recommend Meta Barons. It's so good. His movies, he's made some movies, and they will, like, they are freaky and weird. The only one I think is actually like a story and good is probably El Topo, which I really, it's not a movie I can watch, like, a lot. I've seen it a few times, but it's very disturbing and very weird, and but it's different, and it sparks your imagination, it sparks your creativity, and there's not a lot of that out there that just gets you pumped, excited. It's sad that I get more excitement out of tweets from buddies than I do from stories and comics. That's sad. DMI is a good guy. If you need comics, since I'm stealing his tweet here and doing a video about it, if you need comics, First Prince Comics in Rochester, New York, man. Perfect place to get him. He's a great guy, very kind, very curious. He'll send it to you no matter where you are in the country. So if you're in the United States and you need comics, man, hit him up. He's a cool guy. He's super cool. He'll get you what you need. And a lot of people are saying how they can't get certain books at their stores and stuff. Well, he's a good guy, and he will get you what you need. If you want something, holler at him, and he will get it for you, because he's a cool guy, and he just wants to do business. Remember when comics just wanted to be sold? It's a business. You want to sell your shit. That's and he treats it like a business. He doesn't treat it like a club. So if you need comics, First Print Comic Shop in Rochester, New York. It's a good place to get your books from. I just want to talk about storytelling and how I think it's a dying art form right now. I don't think they understand it. I don't think they understand that a book has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And you should have all this shit mapped out before you embark on your journey. On your journey of storytelling, you need your beginning, you need your middle, and you need your end. And I don't think they do this, because a lot of times, I was just talking to Crumble Point. I don't know if any of you watch Crumble Point, but if you do, you should. If you don't, you should. And he's a good guy, and he's from Scotland, and he was telling me, he didn't like the ending of White Knight, and I really didn't think it ended that great. It was okay, but it almost felt like he put all this there, and then just kind of got to the end. It was like, yeah, I don't have an ending, and I think a lot of this, and I like Sean Gordon Murphy, and he's a pretty good writer. I'm not complaining about his writing, but I really don't think anybody takes comics like they used to, where it's old school, where you come up, if you're going to do a storyline and a plot, and you have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and you make sure that it goes that way. And you can change a little here and there, but you always know where you're going. I don't think they know where they're going anymore. I don't think they care where they're going. I think they just write whatever they feel that day. And that sucks. So, yeah, just a little video today. I'm trying to get up as maybe as I can. I'm trying to keep the videos coming. I know sometimes I get a little off track, and stuff happens, life, family, work, but I'm trying as hard as I can, guys. And thanks for watching as always, and enjoy the comics, guys. Take it easy.